In 1901, beneath the cold, shifting waters of the Aegean Sea, a discovery was made that would challenge everything we thought we knew about the ancient world. A group of sponge divers, seeking refuge from a storm, descended into the depths near a small Greek island. What they found was not just a shipwreck. It was a time capsule, filled with statues, artifacts, and fragments of a lost world. Among the corroded bronze and broken relics was something small. At first glance, it looked like nothing more than a lump of rock, fused together by centuries underwater. But hidden inside that unremarkable mass was one of the most astonishing objects ever discovered, the Antikythera Mechanism. At first, no one understood what it was. It sat quietly in a museum, overlooked, almost forgotten. But as scientists began to examine it more closely, they noticed something strange. Gears, dozens of them, intricate, interlocking, precise. This was not a simple artifact. This was a machine. And not just any machine. It was something that should not have existed. Because according to everything we believed about history, machines like this were not supposed to appear for another 1,000 years. As fragments of the device were carefully cleaned and studied, a picture began to emerge. The mechanism was made of bronze, housed in a wooden case, and filled with a complex system of gears, more sophisticated than anything known from the ancient world. Each gear had teeth cut with remarkable precision. They meshed together in a way that suggested deliberate design, not crude experimentation. Whoever built this understood mechanics at a level that seemed impossible for their time. As researchers continued their investigation, they discovered inscriptions etched onto the surface. Tiny Greek letters, instructions, markings. This was not just a machine. It was a tool, a calculator. But what did it calculate? For years, that question lingered. Then, slowly, the answer began to reveal itself. The mechanism was designed to track the movements of celestial bodies. The sun, the moon, possibly even the planets. By turning a simple crank, the user could simulate the motion of the heavens. They could predict lunar phases, solar cycles, and even eclipses. Eclipses, events that terrified ancient civilizations. Moments when the sky darkened without warning, when the sun disappeared, when the moon turned red. But this device could predict them. Think about that. Over 2,000 years ago, someone built a machine that could forecast the behavior of the cosmos. It was, in essence, the world's first analog computer. But that only deepens a mystery. Because such a device does not appear suddenly. Technology evolves. Knowledge builds gradually over time. You do not go from simple tools to a precision gear system capable of modeling astronomical cycles without intermediate steps. So where are they? Where are the earlier versions? Where is the line of development that led to this? The truth is, we have not found them. The Antikythera Mechanism appears in the historical record like a ghost, fully formed, incredibly advanced, and completely out of place. Some historians suggest it was created by Greek scientists influenced by earlier Babylonian astronomy. Others point to figures like Archimedes, the legendary mathematician and inventor, who lived just a century before the estimated creation of the device. Could minds like his have designed such a machine? It is possible, but even then, the level of craftsmanship required raises more questions. The gears are not rough. They are not experimental. They are refined, measured, intentional. This was not a prototype. This was a finished product, which suggests something even more intriguing. If this was a result, then what did the earlier versions look like? And why have we not found them? The mechanism was discovered in a shipwreck dated to around 100 BCE, a time when the Mediterranean was a crossroads of trade, knowledge, and culture. The ship was likely carrying valuable goods, art, sculptures, and treasures, possibly being transported to Rome. But the presence of this device suggests something else. Knowledge was being moved, ideas were traveling, and somewhere along the way, this machine ended up at the bottom of the sea, hidden for centuries. As modern technology advanced, scientists began using X-ray imaging and 3D scanning to peer inside the corroded fragments. What they found only deepened the mystery. The mechanism contained at least 30 gears. Some were arranged in complex cycles that matched known astronomical periods, including the 19-year Metonic cycle, used to align lunar and solar calendars. It also tracked the Saros cycle, a period used to predict eclipses. This was not guesswork. This was science. Precise, calculated, repeatable science. And it was being practiced in the ancient world at a level we did not fully appreciate. But perhaps the most unsettling question is not how it worked. It is why we lost it. Because after this device, mechanical technology seems to disappear from the historical record. For centuries, nothing like it appears again. It is as if this knowledge was erased, forgotten, or lost in the collapse of civilizations. The ancient world was not static. It was fragile. Libraries burned. Cities fell. Empires crumbled. And with them, knowledge vanished. The Library of Alexandria, one of the greatest centers of learning in history, was destroyed. Countless scrolls containing mathematics, science, philosophy were lost forever. What if devices like the Antikythera Mechanism were once more common? What if this was not an anomaly, but a survivor? A single fragment of a much larger body of knowledge has disappeared? Today, the mechanism sits behind glass, its fragments carefully preserved. It no longer moves. It no longer calculates, but it still speaks. It tells us that ancient people were capable of extraordinary innovation. It challenges the idea that technological progress is always linear. It reminds us that history is not just a story of advancement, but also of loss. Because if something so advanced could be created over 2,000 years ago and then vanish, what else have we forgotten? What other discoveries were made, only to be erased by time? The Antikythera Mechanism is more than an ancient machine. It is a message from a world that knew more than we realized, a message that asks us to look deeper, to question assumptions, to reconsider what we think we know about the past, and perhaps to wonder how many other secrets are still waiting, hidden beneath the surface, lost in the silence of history.